good evening, everybody. Welcome to Wizards Outlook. You guys already know that they're on the second. This was the second game of their 5-game road trip. They won last night, and then again tonight. So there's 4 wins in a row. Kyle Kuzma sparked fourth quarter run as the Wizards rally to down the Rockets 108-103. Got Raymond Lyons here with me on Wilson Tarpey's Union. Ray, let's get straight to it. It did not look good for a half. For almost 3.5 quarters. And then, it's like they remembered they shouldn't be in a game with the Rockets. And fourth quarter started, Kuz got hot, and, and even then, things still got interesting down the stretch because why not?
Yeah, the fourth quarter run pretty much gave him enough to hold on and win the game. We were talking on in the playback room, like if they just make some better decisions along the way leading up to that, it's a much more comfortable road down the backstretch, man. But yeah, they needed all of it because like you pointed out, the first half was it was mostly the Rockets. The same old things played the Wizards. Poor shot selection, undisciplined. Like when they're the veteran laden team playing against like the youngest team in the league, and the poise and maturity was equal on both sides, and neither of them were good. So that's something they got to clean up for sure. But yeah, man, they were able to get a big run. I think they started the fourth quarter 23-4, and yeah, from that point on, they just had to keep pace and stay out in front. But yeah, this was a game of who can take the most worst bad shots. and man, they was running neck and neck for a while there. But the Rockets, their youth, their athleticism, and just their energy kind of kept them around. The Wizards should be able to come in here and get teams like this out the way. Kind of similar to what they did against Orlando the other night. Save from a good performance from Markelle Fultz. That game was pretty much wire to wire for the Wizards. Should have been the same thing tonight, to be perfectly honest, man. The Rockets won up the Wizards on bonehead decisions, but the Wizards did their best to keep them in it. But they had a little run in the third, but then that big run in the fourth just put it away. But yeah, they're not going to beat good teams like this. So a win is a win, like I always say. Hopefully they can clean some stuff up for the rest of this road trip.
Yeah, that was the most disheartening part. Was why was your shot selection on par with these teenagers for the most part? It was Eric Gordon and a ton of youth on the floor for the Rockets. And we were talking earlier during the game, and this is before Kuz got hot. I was telling Ray at that point he was 7 of 18 from the floor, 1 of 8 from deep. You took away the 3 or what have you. He was 6 of 10 from the floor. That's great. And it's good, obviously. Washington's very happy. He caught fire late. But just better shot selection along the way could have led to possibly better possessions, right? They took a lot of threes and missed a ton of them. And there were times they were taking the threes while they were in the midst of runs, and it was literally just sparking stuff for the Rockets where, let's not lie, like their only offense, really, like the best offense the Rockets got was Wizards turning it over, taking bad shots to put them in transition, or Şengün doing what he does. He was kind of like the hub offensively for them. That was it. And we saw that, kind of down the stretch where Washington started to get some stops, but it should have never been that. And then the glass. 57 boards for the Rockets. They got one like legit. I'm sorry, with two legit bigs, and neither one of them are huge. Like we're not going to confuse the size of Şengün and Bruno Fernando for Embiid and Jokic. 57 boards is ridiculous. Like again, that's how a young team stays in the game because they weren't taking good shots. They weren't. It wasn't that at all. That said, Ray, I gotta ask you, player of the game, who do you have?
Yeah, gotta go Kuz, man. As Jekyll and Hyde as he is, the good came out at the right time, man. And he sparked that run in the fourth that kind of basically gave the Wizards the control of the game. Muted.
Like you said, you got to give it to Kuz. That fourth quarter run saved it for me because I for 3 quarters I was like, what's going on? What are we doing here? And why? Why are we making life more difficult? But that fourth quarter run, he sparked it. He was huge during it, and Washington needed someone to get going.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Credit to him for that. Like whatever it was for 3 quarters, they needed something. They needed a spark. He provided it. So credit to him. Who do you have as X factor? I'm interested in this one.
I guess I go Denny. I mean, just, for him, the last few games, the biggest thing for me has been, just his aggression and his decisiveness. We've said multiple times he's just got to get out there and play, and it looks like that's what he's doing, is paying dividends. I mean, he had a double tonight. Had a couple big plays. It was one gave it to Gaff inside. Gaff missed the jump hook. Then he came in and followed up for the putback. Then another time he made a defensive play, got out in transition. He didn't get to finish, but it gave him opportunity to for somebody else to come clean up the mess. So I'll give it to Denny.
All right, I'm actually going to give it to the newcomer. I was cool with Kendrick Dunn's minutes tonight, honestly. And I know Denny had a good all-around game. He didn't shoot it well. He started out good, did not shoot it well. Like you said, I was happy. I'm encouraged that for 2 games in a row, he was aggressive on the offensive end, which goes a long way. Like you asked a question, I think, what was it, second half? You were like, why have we not seen Goodwin, DeLon Wright too much tonight? We saw none in Wright. Not none in Wright. Actually, yeah, we saw a good portion of none in Wright, none and Goodwin, and then late in the game, I think it was none, Beal, Wright, Kuz, and Gaff. So first game here, that's a lot. I don't know. Maybe it's just because Monte's out, but he just got here and he got roped to be on the court at the end of the game to close out. So for me, I was just happy with it was. I feel like maybe he makes decisions a little bit quicker than some of the other guys who pound the ball in the dust. Where I don't make decisions, but it's quicker. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
right.
It's a little bit more getting to it. Like whatever I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do it. And I like that at times he set the table for Kuz a couple times. Like that led to Kuz's first made 3, just a nice in rhythm catch and shoot jumper, and it was from Nunn's penetration. So just give him a little credit tonight. So that's why I had. I will get to you guys' comments. I'm just gonna leave that up there. I'm not gonna read that. But yeah, something to that nature is why this shouldn't have been. You shouldn't have needed to go on a 23-4 run or whatever it was to start the fourth quarter. How the hell were you in that position? Either that or the Wizards are officially contenders.
Not even on 2K, my brother.
not on 2K. But yeah, man, we'll give you a second, Area 11 T, if you had anything else. But look, as often with them, things typically seem harder than they should be. They won. It's 4 in a row. It could be worse for them again. You got a couple days off, and then, fun game on Saturday. They got the Pels.
And I think Ingram's going to be back.
I believe so. Fun times. Big O said Killer Coos, this is his team now. Could be, might be. If so, the way the money's set up, though, it's not my money, so it's none of my business. But big fourth quarter by Kuz tonight, obviously. I don't know. They've been finding ways to win games. And look, credit to them for that. It's been 4 games. However, I have that 10-game losing streak burned into my head. So it's going to take a little bit of me. I need a little bit more before I can get that out of my head to start, believing anything is real. That's all I'm saying. I'm not quite there. Maybe I'll get there in time. But excuse me, for the first half when I struggled against the oh-so-dangerous Rockets, I don't know. Maybe you talk about the Pelicans. Start to see many teams that can beat them right now. Maybe talk about the Pelicans. I'm not sure, but I'm sure you'll let us know. But I don't think we're talking about the same team. We could be, might not be. So what is it? They got the Pelicans on Saturday, the Spurs on Monday. Okay. Then the Pistons, which is annoying, and then next Friday, you got Dame and company. Oh no, he said the Wizards. He said I'm starting to struggle to see many teams that can beat them right now. Yeah, I got a nice long list. I'm not quite there. Just some of the stuff they do, like against a better team tonight, those first 3 quarters, you might not be in a game in the fourth to make a run.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, look, they're a talented bunch, but some of their issues, they're big issues. Like big issues. The fact that you don't consistently play defense and your shot selection is so erratic. It's tough. Like when it's good, obviously, like those moments when everything's flowing, that's great. But how many of those moments have we seen on it regularly this year as a whole?
Far and few between, my man.
So that's a tough part. And I think all 3 of us have maintained that they're a talented bunch and they've yet to play up to what they should be. And that's kind of like the problem, right? He said just ruffling some feathers. Oh, no. Not mine.
Yeah.
They're a very unserious group, and when they become serious, I will become serious. But I tend to meet them where they're at. Unserious at the moment. Let me pull up these standings real quick. I just need to know. I haven't looked in a while, right? So I'm just gonna look real quick. Yeah, they're still below that the second black line, not the dotted one, but the hard black line. They're 11th. Yeah. They're a half game back of the Bulls. Which, what is it? Where are they at? They're 7 games behind. They're like 7.5 behind Brooklyn, who lost tonight. They're 7.5 games back of 4th. Even with some of the injuries, like we've seen some teams that haven't had, like that only have 2 guys on nights when they don't have either or just one, still maintain. So they got a ways to go. That's all I really got. It's the kindest way I can say. But again, it's a good win tonight. Credit to them. We appreciate y'all tuning in as always. Yes, and that's why I can't get that out of my head. Because that team hasn't left. Like the remnants of that team is still around. Like they didn't just leave when Rui left. Like all the stuff we've seen this year didn't just disappear in that trade. So because some of that stuff that happened, he wasn't around for it.
And he was a big part of getting them out of it.
Yeah, so matter of fact, him and DeLon. Yeah. Him, DeLon, and Kendrick had nothing to do with that 10-game slot that we watched. So again, man, it was a good win. It's 4 in a row. Challenge is to make it 5, right? To keep trying to climb up in the standings because as of right now, you're 4 games under 500. Just calling it what it is. We can't even say you're a 500 team at this moment. That's what your record is. That's what you are. What your record is. Was Bill Parcells said that? So, old cliche, corny, what have you. The truth. They 22 and 26. So, yeah, they got a ways to go. Again, like matter of fact, the first team in the East that is over 500 is in 8th place. So we gotta set like incremental goals. Get to 500. Right. See where they had you in the standings. Little things like that. But y'all have a good evening. For Ray and myself, we'll see y'all again Saturday night.